What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of this Grace Guide series. This series is where we try and figure out which of these graces are worth getting and which ones you should completely avoid. And your boy Kranix today has found the best one. There is no way that this one is not the best one from all the testing that I have done. This one is absolutely crazy. I have no clue why people aren't constantly talking about this one. It's always like, ooh, Linbao is amazing, and daode's pretty cool too. Bro, this one is absolutely insane. So, if you guys want to go watch some of my other previous videos to check out on any of the graces you want to see, then make sure you guys go check those out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I don't want you to miss out on more of these videos that I'm going to be putting out. So, let's get into the rest of this grace video. Now, we're finally on the last two graces. I wanted to kind of save the best for last in a way, because I've been eyeballing this one for a minute now, but I gotta just get it out of here. The set that we're gonna be going over, the grace if you will, is going to be the grace of Taihao, the Azure Emperor, Taihao. Sorry if I completely butchered that, I already know I did. But this one is absolutely insane. So, for the 4 starting stats that you get off of it, it's going to be restore HP plus 2.3%, so that's anytime you put a heal on yourself, so drinking down your flask or whatever, it's going to heal you 2.3% more. Very good. The next one is going to be the Wood Phase Spell Spirit Consumption, minus 2.4%. I love me some wood spells, so this is amazing. The next one you get is Damage Amplification on Fatal Strike, which basically that means every time you hit an enemy with a fatal strike, it increases the amount of damage the enemy takes, so even more damage. The last one is going to be damage dealt in perfect condition plus 10.3%. That means anytime you are at max health, you are now doing 10% more damage. As long as you just don't get hit, you are absolutely outrageous with this build. That is already an amazing start. And then for the big bad subtlety effect for this grace build is going to be the Subtlety of Wood phase. This thing is absolutely outrageous because the requirement is going to be at least 70 wood, not bad. And what it does is whenever you successfully deflect a critical blow, you will gain Subtlety of Wood phase, which increases the HP damage dealt to enemies, increases normal attack gain for your spirit, and it reduces HP damage taken, and it's a permanent buff. So, essentially you deflect one critical strike to the start of a mission, and you have a permanent buff that makes you hit harder, recover more spirit when attacking, and it even makes you even more tanky? Bro, that is absolutely outrageous, and it's not a small buff either. Here, let me show you exactly what I mean, and let's go over some of these damage numbers. So, every time I hit the boss here on screen, I hit for around 97 damage. Almost 100 damage, right? Well, now whenever I deflect the boss's critical strike move, and look at this, now I hit for 116 damage a hit. That is around a 17% permanent damage increase that cannot be taken away. Except if you die, but you know who dies, let's be real, we're all goated out here. Anyways, how is nobody talking about how absurdly good this is? On top of gaining a permanent defense buff from it as well. Don't forget that, you get 17% increase in damage and you become even more tanky. That's crazy. And what I like to do, as you saw in some of these clips here, is put on a lightning weapon buff because that also gains the 17% extra damage. So your basic attacks gain 17% more damage, and now your weapon buff does 17% more damage. You are just absolutely doing so much damage to these guys, it's crazy. On top of that 10% more damage whenever you're at full health, bro, come on. So with this grace build, I was actually able to kill the boss in about 45 to 50 seconds, where even with daode and Linbao, I would take around like a minute 20 to actually be able to kill them because they have like a whole setup before you're able to actually get their buffs off. Versus this, you just deflect a critical strike, and there it is. That's your permanent buff. You don't need to reapply it, you don't need to re-ready up, nothing like that. So this grace, obviously, in my opinion, is the best in the game, without a doubt. And now you're going to ask me, so Kranix, we see that it's absolutely amazing in PvE. What about PvP? Well, funny enough, remember yesterday's video on the Subtlety of Metal? Remember how I said that one doesn't apply to the enemies as a debuff every time you deflect one of their martial arts skills because it's not a critical strike? Well, this one's the complete opposite. This one works just fine. I guess because it's a buff on your own character rather than a debuff on the enemy. It might be either a glitch or something like that, but this one actually works. The second you actually get off that deflect on their martial arts skill, even though it's not a critical strike attack, it applies to you. You get that little buff on you, so now you are doing even more damage to your opponent, and don't forget, it's a permanent buff. So now the second you deflect one of their martial arts skills, you now have a permanent 17% extra damage that you're going to be doing to them. Bro, that is insane, having a permanent buff in PvE and PvP whenever you want. The fact that nobody's talking about this still absolutely amazes me. This is going to be a set that I'm going to be running for a while. This is going to be my new main set whenever I'm ever playing PvE for sure, and I'm going to use it occasionally in PvP because who doesn't want a, permanent buff? The only thing that I will say, smart players don't use martial arts in PvP. So this one is a little bit more situational versus daode. I would still put daode above this one in PvP only because that they won't use martial arts sometimes. Versus daode, the only buildup is being able to deflect, which I mean they have to attack you, and even if they don't attack you, their AI will attack you and you can deflect off of them and build up your buff. So definitely just right below daode. If they actually use martial arts skills, above daode, 100% is amazing buff. You guys need to get this, it's absolutely outrageous. So that's about gonna do it for me. That's going to be the end of my little rant about this grace set, and man, I really hope you guys love this one too as much as I do, because I was not expecting this to be this well. So I'm gonna head out now, you guys. Take it easy, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your gameplay, your PvE, your PvP, and have a good one. Peace.